Ay, ay, ay.
Alicia, get off my back. Alicia, Alicia.
Let's get into it. Right? Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
Andrés Boquerson Hodney acusó de abusar de una adolescente de 16 años perteneciente a la comunidad LGTBI.
Al momento de ser capturado, este hombre se encontraba acompañado por un adolescente y la madre de esta menor.
Ese extranjero, que no aceptó los cargos ante un juez, habría ofrecido.
Listen, people don't talk about this within the community, right? People do not talk about this within the community. People don't talk about this within the community. But they should. It's like those things that you know, those secrets, those things that you've seen and you've heard and you've heard chit chat about, but you don't want to discuss because they're sensitive topics and you don't want to offend no one, and maybe you're one of those guys. People are not talking about this, right? And I'm going to say something, right? Take it how you want to. The truth can never be considered disrespect, right? The truth can never be considered disrespect, right? But there's this one particular individual on YouTube, right? And I don't have a problem with the brother, right? I don't know him, right? I don't have a problem with no one, right? I don't have a problem with no one, right? Peace. But like all of these people that have been arrested, right? This gentleman that was just arrested in Brazil for doing heinous things, right? The dude that was in Kenya beating up on women, right? Cursing women out, talking about women. These, and I'm just saying the truth can never be considered disrespected. Like, I'm not saying he's this or that. I'm just saying, like, these two individuals, right? The weird individual, right? And the other weird individual, right? They all have associations to one individual. The truth can never be considered disrespect. Listen, I'm not trying to put no dirt, no smear on his name, no smear on his name, right? I'm not trying to kick him in the shins. But all I'm saying is, and these are facts, right? The truth can never be considered disrespect. The dude that was in Kenya beating up on women has association to this one dude. The dude that was in Brazil doing the most heinous crimes has association to this one dude. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm not trying to put smut on the brother's name, right? But I'm just saying, like, a lot of the guys that have made the news and gone viral on social media platforms have associations to this gentleman, right? This gentleman's this gentleman, as you seen in my last video, and I might post it in this one, he's cut the dude's hair, right? He's cutting the dude's hair, right? He's cutting the dude's hair, right? He's cutting his hair, right? What's the dude's name? Let's find this. I forgot his name. I know I can find it. I know I can find it. Ashton Hall. He's cutting the dude's hair.
I used to live in.
Let me find it, man. He's cutting the dude's hair. He's literally cutting the dude's hair.
Dude, cost me $300. 1,200. We're gonna get him right. We want more American.
They're hanging out together, right? Like, they're literally hanging out together. 2 years, 3 years, 3 years. They've been hanging out for years. The truth cannot be considered disrespect. I'm just showing you what's on this channel. I'm not insinuating nothing. You make your own insinuations, right? I'm just saying that he's been hanging out with this dude for years. Years. It's all on his. It's on his. It's been on his channel for years, man. 1 year, 1 year, 1 year, 1 year, 3 years, 3 years, 3 years. So you saying 1 year they're traveling together. They're literally traveling together. They're traveling together. They're traveling together. They're traveling together. Brother, listen. The truth can never be considered disrespect, but it's just weird to me. Like, if I'm traveling with a dude for 3, 4, 5 years and we're staying together, pause, right? I'm going to, you think that I would know what he's into, right? I'm just being honest. Like, if I'm traveling with someone for 5 years and we're going to a different place together, you think you know what he's into. Things that make you go, and I'm just being honest, right? Like, it's start doing the math yourself. Like, it's a lot of weird stuff going on in these past football communities. You listen, it's on YouTube, right? I'm not insinuating nothing. You can't insinuate what you see with your eyes. These are facts. Like this gentleman and Pedicure have been hanging out together. They've been traveling together for years. They know each other. They sleep in the same apartment. It's just weird, man. And I'm gonna tell you something. I've met some cool brothers, man. I told this story 50 times. I'm gonna tell it 50 more times. Right? I was in Medellin and I was walking towards Gusto's, right? And this dude that stopped me. He's like, hey, what's up? I seen you too. Like, hey, what's up? He was with a dude that looked a little like, hey, we should hang out together. Like, no, I'm cool. I got some plans. I'm lying my tail off, right? I ain't had no plan. I just was hanging out with him and that LGBTQ he had. Or like this dude had like arched eyebrows and mannerisms, and even some of these dudes be having weird mannerisms, right? Right? But he was like, hey, we should hang out. I'm like, nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I got something else going on, right? Cool. And I've met other brothers, man, along the way. Hey, what's up, dude? You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's up? How you doing? Where you from? Chit chat and BS. Hey, I'm going to the restaurant. I'm going to the bar. I'm going to the club. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. You want to go? Let's go. What you got going on? Oh man, I might catch it. What you do? But check, I've never been to their apartment. I've never been in their Airbnb. I've never been in their hotel room. If a dude asked me to go to his hotel room, we might have to fight. Seriously, we might have to catch catch a fair one. We might have to catch a fair one, man. Seriously, we might have to catch a fair. Like, let's, you know what I'm saying? Let's catch this real quick. Like, I might lose, you might lose. Somebody gonna lose, right? Someone gonna lose, someone gonna win. So that's cool, but we might have to catch a fair one. If a dude asks me to go to his, imagine you chilling with a dude. Hey, what's up, man? What's up, Billy? Oh, I see your YouTube. Hey, what's up, man? What's cool? What you got going on? How long you here? When you get here? Hey, man, we're gonna hang out at my Airbnb. These passport dudes be trying to do Netflix and chill. These passport bros, man, they trying to do Netflix and chill. Like, if you sitting on my bed, what, bro? These passport bros be trying to do Netflix and chill. And I said this in the comment. Damn, I'm crying. I said this in the comment. on my last video is if you look at a lot of these dudes' pages, they ain't never been in a relationship. How you lived in certain countries for years or months or whatever, and you ain't never been in a relationship. Look, seriously, go to some of these dudes' pages. There ain't no woman to be seen. It's just women they met, obviously probably paid for, right? Or women they met along the way. But a lot of these dudes that are traveling and lived in certain countries, they've never been in no relationship, right? And people say, "Oh, Chris, he's like, yeah, I posted a woman once, right? Everyone knows I've been in relationships, right? I got out of a relationship 2 years ago with the psycho that attacked me, right? Before her, I was with African Queen, and I got pictures and videos of African Queen. Like, I wanted to marry African Queen. I wanted to marry crazy ass Vanessa too, but let's be honest. My dream is to settle down. My dream is to travel the world until I'm 70, chasing women. That's not my dream. Like, my dream is to settle down. But if you look at a lot of these dudes' pages, they've never been in no relationship. And I'm not talking about no vacation relationship. You go out to eat, set up the camera, turn on the glasses and do stuff for content. A lot of these dudes have never been in any relationship. You've never heard them say, my girlfriend. You've never heard them say, my wife, my partner, my spouse, my fiance. A lot of these dudes, man, respectfully and disrespectfully, of course, a lot of these dudes is gay. A lot of them are gay, and they like what people are getting arrested for, man. Let's be honest. You've been traveling for 5 years, and you ain't found not one woman out of the 200,000 you've come across in these countries that you was attracted to and was attracted to you. Come on now, but let's get back to the story. A lot of these dudes is gay, and they into the same stuff this dude's into. The truth can never be considered disrespect. You ain't found a woman in 5 years. The problem is you and what you into. Check this out.
Citizen was arrested for a sexual offense against a minor. And this is thanks to the coordinated work between the Medellin Mayor's Office, the National Police, and the Office of the Attorney General of the nation. In this struggle that we are waging against the sexual and commercial exploitation of boys, girls, and adolescents. In this case, the capture of a 38-year-old Irish citizen was achieved by court order, who was wanted after he had previously been captured and had been released by a decision of a judge of the Republic. But thanks to the insistence to the appeal, and thanks to that joint work between the prosecutor's office and the police, the arrest warrant was subsequently obtained, and it was this arrest warrant that, thanks to the locating work by the police, was successfully carried out. This subject was then arrested for the crime of demand for commercial sexual exploitation involving a person under 18 years of age. The procedure was carried out during surveillance and control duties on public roads, where, after verifying their identity, it could be confirmed that this was the individual who already had an active arrest warrant issued by a court in Medellin. According to the investigation, this person would be related to events that occurred last December 6th of this 2025 in the Laurel sector, where he allegedly made a financial offer for sexual purposes to a minor, and he later moved her to a residence located in the Simon Bolivar neighborhood.
In the deployment of surveillance activities in the Simon Bolivar neighborhood of the city of Medellin, framed within the strategy, A Christmas with Purpose, our police professionals captured by judicial warrant a 38-year-old Icelandic citizen wanted for the crime of demand for commercial sexual exploitation involving a minor under 18 years of age. The foreign citizen is indicted for this crime for events that occurred last December 6th of the present year in the Comuna 11 Laurels, in which the victim would be a female adolescent of the LGBTQ plus community, 16 years of age. At the time of his capture, this man was accompanied by a 17-year-old teenager and the mother of this minor, who was left at the disposal of before the Colombian Family Welfare Institute by our group for the protection of childhood and adolescents, precisely for the verification and restoration of their rights. The detainee was turned over to the requesting judicial authority and, following the court hearings, was placed in pre-trial detention at a correctional facility.
All right, so check this out, right? Let's go through let's break this down, right, piece by piece, right? Let me get some Tinder swipes in while we're here. Oh man, she's cute. Let me get some Tinder swipes. Let me get a few Tinder swipes because this is about to get deep. Pause. She's cute. What y'all think? I don't know if y'all can see this. She's cute. Ooh, okay. All right, let's get back. Let's break this down. Right. They captured a foreign citizen wanted for of a minor in Medellin. Right. Listen, I've been to a lot of cities. Right. It's probably respectfully. It's probably a handful of dudes. Literally, like a handful of dudes on YouTube that's been to more countries than me, right? Probably maybe not even a handful, right? Because I've been to like 7 or 8 countries in Europe, right? And a lot of guys just going to Asia and South America, Caribbean. But anyway, I don't even think there's a handful. Well, not even a handful of dudes that's been to more countries than me, right? But check this out, right? Medellin is like Pattaya. Like I'm going to compare Medellin to Pattaya because when you're going to Pattaya, right? When you're going up to flying in the BKK to Bangkok, right? Most people don't fly to Pattaya because I mean I've done it. Excuse me, this pre-workout's kicking my butt. Anyway, most people don't fly to Pattaya because the airport in Pattaya is a military base, right? If you know, you know. So you fly to this military base, catch a taxi into the city, which may take who knows how long, 45 minutes, whatever it may be. That Pattaya airport is convenient for like going to Phuket and stuff, like Bangkok, like short distances. But I wouldn't fly into there because 9 times out of 10 you have a layover in Bangkok. But anyway, it's like flying into Bangkok, right, or Phuket, right. You're going to be met with 1,000 tourists boarding the plane, right, at the airport, right, on the plane, right, in immigration. You're going to be met with a lot of tourists, right, Bangkok, right, Phuket. You're going to be met with a lot of tourists, not a lot of Thais, right. That's the same thing for going to Medellin, right, and that's what I'm comparing the two. You're going to be met with a lot of tourists, right. The immigration line was probably 90-some% tourists, right? The immigration line for tourists was 500 people deep. The immigration line for locals was 10 people, right? So that's what I'm comparing it to. You're gonna get where I'm going in a second. So a lot of guys that are going to these countries, right? People aren't going to Thailand to find their wife. Let's be honest, right? My first time going to Thailand, it wasn't to find my wife. I'm just gonna be. I ain't gonna. You can use your common sense, right? Don't get too stupid with it. You can use your common sense, but my first time going to Thailand wasn't like, man, I can't wait to find me a Thai wife. It was for bring out my freaky side, right? Not too freaky. And it's the same thing for people that's going to Medellin because sometimes Medellin is a cheaper flight, right? Most people ain't trying to get on a plane for 15, 16, 17, 18 hours go to Thailand. Yeah, I've done it, right? But for most people, it's easy to go to Medellin, right? So for a heavy tourist destination, a lot of tourists, a lot of traffic. Everyone's not going to Medellin for their wife, for their partner. There's a lot of illusions out there. A lot of people are ready. Oh man, trying to find a good Colombian wife. Yeah, a lot of people aren't going there for that. Just like I wasn't going to Thailand to find my wife. I was going to, get my numbers up, right? I was on a rampage, right? Pause. A lot of guys are going to Medellin because it's a quick flight. You can spend $300-$400, be down there, might have a layover in Panama, right? You're gonna be in Medellin and in places like Colombia when there's a level of poverty, right? I'm not saying that Colombians are full of poverty, right? There's poverty everywhere. There's poverty in America. In places like this, when there's a level of poverty, right? And I'm gonna be honest with you, when there's poverty, there's opportunities for people like this freak and that other freak that the boy hangs out with to take advantage and exploit vulnerable people. Because check something out, right? I want you to check something out. Check something out. And I don't know if you missed it, but check something out. At the time of the capture, the foreigner was in the company of a 17-year-old, right? And the mother. Wait that in. The foreigner was in the company of a 17-year-old and the mother. And the mother. And the mother. So what does that tell you? You read between the lines. That mother, one, should burn in hell, right? But that mother knew what was going on. She accepted what was going on. She accepted whatever exchange they had for that particular service and gave this gentleman the opportunity to exploit that situation. And that's what goes back to what I said a few minutes ago. When there's poverty, there's people, psychos, sickos, weirdos that are there to exploit that situation. And when I was going to Colombia, I was on Tinder, and I talked to this young lady, man, and I had seen her Instagram story that she had talked about some dude, and I had translated it. She had talked about some dude where I sent him pictures and he blocked me, right? She had asked this guy for money, right? And I have a screenshot on my phone. I can probably find it. I might post it one day, right? Because I was laughing. But she had posted this dude's WhatsApp, right? And this dude had asked her for pictures, right? And she'd asked for money, and the dude was like, "Hey, send me these pictures, and I'll send you some money." And she sent the guy pictures of all of this, right? Everything, and he blocked her. It's funny, but it's not funny, but it's still funny. I said that to say that you're not gonna get no woman in America to, hey, she asked for money, you say send me pictures of this, and she gonna send it, and you block. Like American woman, she gonna block you just for asking, right? A lot of European women, even though I met one or two free ones out there, right? A lot of European women, you ain't gonna ask them for, let me see that, and she gonna say, give me some money, and outside of the OnlyFans ones, and y'all can just come with an exchange, right? I said that to say that in a lot of areas, man, where there's poverty, a lot of women are more open to do things that you're gonna have a hard time getting a woman in Atlanta or the Bronx or Houston or Detroit or the DMV to do, because these women are vulnerable. These women are in dire situations. These women don't know what they're gonna eat for dinner tomorrow. These women don't know if they're gonna eat dinner tomorrow. These women are living in a house with 400 to 400 people. These women are living in poverty. They might be sleeping on the floor. Their bed might be on the floor. So when men are going to a lot of these countries, man, they're exploiting vulnerabilities. And here's the thing: there's a gray line between exploiting and exploiting, right? Listen, if you're offering something for sale, if you're on the east or the right, if you're in some of these places where I know your intentions, I know that I'm not saying I've done it, and I'm not saying I haven't done it either, right? You're in these places where you know there's P for P going on. Okay, you put yourself out there, right? If I decide to pay for an exchange, I pay for an exchange. But when you're going searching for the unthinkable, that's a whole different story. I can't exploit something that you've broadcasted out to the world, right? It's 100 people in the lease. The lease lives in a secret, right? There's back rooms and places where you can go in It's not a secret, so I'm not necessarily exploiting something that you've offered for sale. If there's a legit business for what they're offering, but this right here is next level. This right here is next level. Where this right here is next level exploitation. And it's sad that her own mother was there with her. That breaks my heart. Her own mother was there with her. Her own mother was there with her. And if you caught on to the video, he said LGBTQ. So you already know what that was. It was a dude. It was a dude. It was a lady boy. And a lot of us in the beginning, you know, in the beginning, people are like, oh man, it gotta be one of them. It gotta be one of them. It's not one of us. It's got one. Look at the dude, man, in Brazil. He's one of us. And we like to be like, oh man, it's always someone to do nothing like that. Always is indulging and stuff like that. Just watch out for the circle you keep, man. Just watch out for the circle you keep. And here's my thing: if this one dude is hanging out with pedicures and woman beaters, I already know what kind of company he keeps. I've never met the dude. I have no desire to meet the dude because, you know. And here, in closing, man, respectfully and disrespectfully, birds of a feather flock together.